Hello everyone, this is OG again. We are again talking about support 2.0. We are doing a series of call where we want to really go into the details for you to understand what it means to use AI in a support environment today. I'm with Paul from Uptech. Hello, Paul. Let's go straight to the point. Maybe you have another question for us.
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks, OG. So we're talking about Support 2.0. What does the ideal help desk of the future look like, and how does our Support 2.0 vision align with that future?
Yes. So this is very important to understand here what we are aiming at before we go into the what it is, right? So what we are aiming at is a support model that is going to be very different from what you are used to have, which is, you pick up the phone, you chat with someone, or you have some sort of a, rule-based chatbot that is, doing it all wrong, right? Uh, the aim is to have amazing level of support here. The goal is whether you have a support model that is aiming at customers or internal resources. If you're part of a large organization, let's say your IT support, for example, right? The quality of the support is going to be 10x. The perception of the speed and the accuracy is going to be 10x. The cost is going to be extremely improved because a lot of the activity will be done by machine, right? And for the staff, doing all those copy and paste or answering the, I forgot my password type of question, is going to be totally gone and handled by technology, right? Um, so I don't know, Paul, if you want to add anything on that, on the aim of the support model and what it means.
Yeah, I think for us, it's about delighting the customers, be those internal customers or external customers. It's driving down at the same time, driving down the cost whilst improving the quality. We've touched on the metrics on one of the previous videos. It's about how can we improve every single one of those key KPIs that measure the success of a support organization. And
Yeah.
then the other part, and I think you've already touched on this, is how do we take away that monotony? How do we take away the really click ops tasks that people, unfortunately, support guys have to do? How do we take that away and get those support guys adding business value rather than just like you said, copy and pasting from ticket to system?
Yes.
If we can deliver all that, I think we'll be happy and organizations will be delighted.
100%. And I personally know support environment organization that have up to 35% of attrition. Every year, they have to replace 1/3 of their team because they are running away from the job because it's so boring and repetitive, right? So this is an opportunity here to have a true win-win. So what it is, right? What are we talking about when we say support 2.0? So first of all, typically support is structured by layer, level 1, level 2, level 3, right? So there's something that you must have. And if you're not doing that today, you are totally, you've missed the train or the boat or whatever you call it. To have a level 0 AI layer. So that AI layer that you put as the first barrier, the first receiving point, right? For all the requests, all the complaint, um, is extremely important. It's able to answer all the basic question. How do I do that? How do I change my password? It's able to really provide a lot of information that are typically requested by people. I want to get an update on my ticket number, whatever. But it's doing more than that, right? Now with all the LLM capability, the AI layer is really able to really understand the nature of the problem, which is one of the typical issue here, and really being able to identify what the problem is. And why is this important? Because that AI layer being able to have a conversation with the user and being able to answer question, but also being able to qualify the problem so that we can have this level 1 that is typically, the simple fix. The level 1 can now be automated. Level 0 can understand the problem and answer a simple question. And level 1 can be then, an automation layer that because the problem is identified, can trigger the right script to go and fix the problem automatically. All of that is happening without any human being involved, right? Obviously, we have some auto escalation that are also built in this level one in case automation and AI cannot handle and fix the problem. Can go up to 50% of the problem being resolved by this level one when it's correctly automated. Then it will be automatically escalated to humans, and those humans could be level one humans, or they can be level two, level three, right? So all that layer is really what we call support 2.0. The goal here is to keep the human for the most complex problems, the most complex interaction, and to use all the technology to fix problem, answer question, qualify and enrich tickets, so that when it comes to a human, you have already 80% of the job that is done. And then obviously when you couple that with offshore capability, meaning your first level of human can be offshore in locations where we have great people with great English and great technical skills, your overall model is complete. You have cost, you have quality, you have speed, all of that is achieved, right? So I don't know, Paul, if you want to maybe add a few things here.
Yeah, I think the big one we've not spoke about so far is rather than tickets being issues, it's more service requests as well, right? And I mean, something both you and I are passionate about, not how do I do something, is I need a new user, I need a new VM, I need some new resource or service. I mean, we see when we do assessments for companies, that can range from 30 to 70% of their tickets. And if we can automate all of that at speed, at quality, without, I mean, eliminating human error, that's a really, really big win using automation. So we've reduced the number of how do I's with the AI, and then we reduced the number of service desk tickets down, and we can leave those guys to solving the complex problems that you mean that can be critical to a business. So yeah, service requests is a really, really big area of improvement that technology can address. And the way that we do this with Support 2.0, it's not fixing part of a problem. We'll do it end to end as well. So we'll do that complete resolution for that, I mean, for that request.
Yeah. And aiming at having 100% of the events, 100% of the incidents, 100% of the requests to be fully automated with AI and technology is not that crazy, right? We are getting there, and then we can use the human to do the problem management, the more complex stuff where we need really the human brain to do those complex analysis. Some organization will be reaching the layer where there's no human, and event management, incident management, and request management, it's totally uh, normal and correct to aim at having 100% of those done in an environment where there is no human, right? So this is great for human, so you can do the more complex stuff, they can develop. No one wants to do support, by the way. This is something we have to do. I know many engineers, who don't want to do support, and they have to because the support model are not yet optimal. So that's what we are aiming at here.
And
Maybe
one,
Paul, you want to close? Yeah.
yeah, I was just going to say one last thing before we do close. It's just around you. I mean, how can this technology, you touched on enrichment, but I think we just need to expand a little bit on that. That when we've got the guys that are needing to fix these complex problems. So I think one thing we do need to touch on is how the technology can assist the human beings as well. You touched on you mentioned enrichment. So it's how can we help the people reduce that MTTR? I mean, that can be automatically populating tickets. It can be having or doing scripts to deliver some of the resolution that is human being controlled. I don't know whether you want to expand on that, OJ, but I think that's a critical thing. Automation isn't just about solving that problem end to end. It's about how can we help and support the human beings to drive that positive change and close tickets faster as well.
Yes, so that's a topic, I'm very passionate about that.
Yeah.
So typically when you roll out technology in an environment, there's two typical outcome, right? There's either a resolution of the request, I mean, fulfillment of the request or resolution of the problem that is done automatically by the machine and no humans are involved. But very often, the machine is not able to do everything, 100%. It's partially helping, and the idea here is that we call that auto enrichment, which means that the machine is running a bunch of scripts, a bunch of tests, doing all the basic, pinging, running that script, checking that, and all of that is going to be added to the tickets, so that when humans are taking over, it's almost as if, a first layer of human had done a job. So they don't start from scratch. All the basic stuff has been done by the machine. A lot of context has been added because typically human, don't have time to go look for all this information. All this information has been pulled together, and the human is served with, a very good understanding of the environment, saving time because they don't have to go look for it, and very often getting way more information than what they would get if it was going through an initial human layer. So it's really important because we are improving the life of the human support agent, because they get so much more information thanks to the machine doing all this enrichment automatically.
And do you mean I think we do a lot of work together around things like CMDBs as well, right? I mean CMDB, if you look at it historically, it was out of date the moment an Excel spreadsheet was created. Using automation, we can make sure that that CMDB is always populated, is always up to date. I mean, to the most accurate manner with the tools available. So that, I mean, for me, adding context from CMDB, adding context from monitoring tools, from alerts to help those human beings solve that problem faster. I mean, it's almost criminal if you're not doing this to
Yes.
help your staff
Yes.
deliver that best outcome.
100%, Paul. So we'll touch about that on, maybe another episode here, but
Yeah.
yeah. So I hope that you guys have a good understanding of what we mean now by support 2.0. If you have any questions, if you want to get more details, reach out to us. We'll be there to help you. Thanks, Paul.
Thanks, AJ.